Let's go, Ryan, come on.
It's my ring.
Yeah.
Did you get one of these up here? Yeah, I got one of those. Yes. We're missing one. As you can see, we made it a very light agenda for the rest of the meeting. Okay, is there any public petitions or comments not related to anything on the agenda or related to any public hearings that happened tonight? Yes, Mr. Lake.
Yeah, the Rosendale Street Festival, I'd like to thank the town board for letting us have yet another party.
You're very welcome, and thank you for all your hard work.
It's a group effort, I didn't do it all.
Thank you.
Well, we know you did at least 51%.
Agreed.
We do have a couple of community events, as Ken said earlier. We have the fundraiser for the pool. It is a barbecue tank fill-a-thon, Saturday, 8/24/13, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. at the Rosendale Rec Center. To benefit the Rosendale pool, it's $10. For every tank filled, $3 goes to the pool, and it's sponsored by Heritage Energy and the Rosendale Rec Commission.
If you have 30-pounders, which is your next size up, that's $15. If you have 40-pounders, that's $20. That's still a deal. So,
500 pounders?
no 100-pounders, no 100-pounders. But, you know, it's a good deal, and $3, our goal is at least 300 tanks to fill that deck, so come on down.
I'd like to make a motion to approve the minutes last month.
I'll second.
Roll call, Councilman Gallagher,
Yes.
Councilwoman Gray. Yes. Councilman Hassett,
Yes.
Councilman Ryan,
Yes.
Supervisor.
Yes.
Hello, I'm David Rosenbaum. I live on Creekside Lane.
Excuse me, sir.
I'm sorry.
We're not having public comments right now, right? Did you have something you wanted to say that had to do with the public hearing or something else?
No, I guess something else.
Okay.
Something to be able to.
Go ahead, go ahead.
Okay. I understand that the state has granted the Rosendale a $3 million grant for flood damage restoration. My wife, Katherine, and I live on Creekside Lane, small community, about 15 residents. We've been really badly impacted by floods in the last 10 years. Our stream bank, largely because the bridge has been redone, the stream flow changed, our bank is being undermined. We've lost about half our trees in the bank that's supporting, that was supported by them. And we've been looking for a couple of years now to find some way to be able to restore this and protect this community, which is in danger of really be getting lost. So I'd like to really request that consideration be given to the Creekside Lane project. We're looking to hire a very respected river flow consultant to look at how we can do this. And I just want to make the town aware that we would like to put in dibs for any funding that's available.
I appreciate that, and I will say, and we were going to speak on this a little later, but just to make an announcement, Ken Hassett, Councilman Hassett, and I, along with Sarah McGinty as the chairwoman of the Chamber of Commerce, were invited to visit Governor Cuomo, and we had a long day of review about a program that's called New York Rising. New York Rising, do you remember the rest of it, community? Yeah, it's to help communities that have been impacted by flooding, both by Hurricane Irene, Superstorm Sandy Hurricane Sandy and Superstorm Lee. And Rosendale was chosen as a river community. It was broken up into coastal, river, and urban. And we are entitled to up to $3 million for town of Rosendale. But the way it was set up is it's actually coming, normally when we do a project, we have to go in and get a plan, you have to hire a planner, you have to do RFPs, all that stuff's done. So really, it's about the actual work. We recently we have a local person who's our representative with the governor to help us get started on the project. It's an 8-month window, and we actually have a committee that's chosen by the governor. The town does not choose this committee. So the process has started to pick the people that are going to be on that committee, and we probably will be partnering with a couple other towns that are also, I'm really not at liberty to say everything because it's not confirmed yet, but we might be partnering with some other towns to make it a better plan, to talk. Obviously the river goes through more than one community.
Combined research.
Right. And so as we do that, I will tell you that your property in your area, Creekside Lane, has come up on numerous occasions when we've discussed it. And so, I've been down to your place. I was there when all the flooding happened. I'm very aware of the impact to the area, and we're trying to identify all the areas that were impacted by Rosendale so that we can include them in the plan. How the project goes forward and what the plan will be, we're not sure yet. So, but you are being considered. So.
Right, okay. Maybe because of the undercutting of the stream banks with these floods, we're still losing trees because they're just hanging out in space.
Yep. And don't be surprised if some people come walking down there and take a look.
They're welcome.
So did you say the residents were going to employ an outside?
Yes, we've talked to an engineering firm which has done a lot of work in this area here. To have them come look and see what they can suggest to us.
I would say that if that's the case, there'll probably be some meetings that you could be invited to bring your case and your issues and what kind of plan they come up with so that we can pull that in.
Very much appreciate that. Yeah.
Yep.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And I can't promise anything because I want you to understand it is being, it's not at the town level that the decisions are made, but the committee will input all the things, and I think you're...
On America, we've got a good case, so thank you.
Yeah, yep.
Thank you.
Yes.
Just one thing to that, what my husband David just said, that after Hurricane, I'm Katherine.
Yep.
After Irene, our neighborhood got together and we interviewed a number of hydrologists and looked into getting grants, which were unavailable to us because our damage wasn't considered as bad as other places urgently. But we have a well drawn up, what do you call it, a plan. I mean, we've gone through so many years of perfecting this proposal.
Exemplary work that's been done already.
Right.
Yeah, I'm familiar with your project and what you've been working on. Like I said, I've been down there numerous times, and I personally brought several different people that were working on grants for you, and I know that, but I understand that it didn't happen. And part of it has to do with some of the insurance laws and things like that that really didn't help, and we're going to address some of those things when these come.
The main thing is that with regard to the town of Rosendale, we are upstream of the town of Rosendale. Mm-hmm. So what hits us, if it could be remediated, it would hopefully benefit what happens downstream.
Well, the way I look at it is you're still part of Rosendale. Okay?
Well, yeah,
so
we are.
Obviously,
We are.
It's not just about.
We are Rosendale,
Yes.
but we get hit first before it gets to the town.
Right.
So if you can help, yes.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
To the supervisor's point that, these grants that were made available to the river communities, us being one,
Yes.
and our neighbors upstream,
Yes,
specifically
yes.
Warsing and Rochester, that they're the communities that would be looking to partner with moving forward
I think
or
that's right.
projects. And certainly there are projects in town right here that need the attention of the 3 million and the committee that's going to be set up. But the whole idea of partnering with our neighbors upstream is that anything that they can do within their realm, if you will, of the creek to mitigate flooding would help us downstream. So
Absolutely.
it's an effort.
Whatever anybody can do.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
hopefully collectively between the three communities that have received this grant money or has access to this grant money, that the projects that we do not only will rebuild perhaps damage from previous storms, but as the governor specifically put it across to us, rebuild them bigger and stronger
Right.
to withstand future storms that are going to be inevitable. But also that if we can partner with our community, our neighboring communities, there's a possibility that additional funds might be made available, and that could be applied specifically to, flood mitigation and things like that. So we have to work smart at the very beginning, and I think, what you brought here tonight, just the fact that your community has gotten together and
Right.
did some preliminary
Very
work.
proactive.
Absolutely.
And we've
You know,
already talked to a very well-respected
Sure.
person.
So whatever information that you have, I think would be helpful to us
All right,
moving
I would
forward.
be
As far
very
as
honored to
identifying
be a part of your,
We don't get to choose that, but what you can do is still, the committee's going to be chosen by a representative of the governor, and what you can do is attend or, submit information or things to help them make decisions, so
Right.
that's the way.
I would be happy to do it all of them.
Okay.
Once the committee is formed, we'll have our preliminary meetings with the committee, and then there will be public hearings, public, input sessions, if you will, to hear from people within our town specifically that have had damage, and they can, bring information to us that, would be useful. So thank you for coming tonight.
Okay.
And
Thank you very
anything that you have. The cheap part of me wants to say, I would caution you and your neighbors, get involved with an engineering firm that perhaps would cost you a fortune, that maybe during the course of this process, some of that work would be included in the grant. Certainly not making any promises, but as the supervisor said before, this is not a bureaucratic brew that 3 years from now, we're going to be talking about this grant that we supposedly got. It's a short window.
Till February, it's got to be solved by February.
Yeah. And although we're a little late, if you will, starting up,
Yeah.
it's still going to remain a short window. So if it's not February, it would be March. But next year at this time, there'll be shovels in the ground and something happening somewhere to
Well, it
mitigate.
should start before this time next year, because you can't do anything in the river from September 15th to April
Well,
15th.
There'll be experts that will,
Yeah, they'll,
it won't be up to us when they start all.
Right. Well, anyway, those are the rules.
There's
with the
firms that
different-
are hired to do that for us, so.
yeah.
So,
Okay.
all right.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Jean, just, I would also suggest that the work that went in that Copier, remember when that application went in?
Yes, but that was under hazard mitigation,
I
correct?
know that there's information in there that maybe the committee
Yeah.
could benefit.
And also,
Well, we're going to need to do something to really identify every impact that happened during Hurricane Irene so that we don't miss anything. We'll probably do some kind of public outreach to say, please inform us of any issues that we might not be aware of. I mean, we know about a lot of things, but we want to make sure we don't miss anything before we make the plan. Right, Ken?
yes. And may I also, you had mentioned in a previous meeting, the Rosendale Valley
Watershed,
Watershed Council,
around the
if they're still
Creek
active.
watershed.
They haven't been.
They haven't been
They
active?
haven't, but we can call them together if they can help, because they have a certain amount of expertise. in
I'm not
putting
sure
that
if
together.
it would warrant, reestablishing it, but what I'm getting at is perhaps some of the work product that they came up with over the years, specific to the creek and the flows and anything.
I'll print that
That
out.
would certainly
I have
be
a
helpful.
house to that.
And I think
I
it would
know-
be helpful to our planner,
Yeah.
because if we're going to be working in conjunction with our upstream neighbors,
Yep.
obviously along the creek.
Well, they're on that plan, they're in that committee
Yeah,
too.
we all share this, we're going to share the same planner,
Yep.
we're going to share the same representative from the governor's office. So I think any additional information that we can provide to the groups certainly would be helpful.
Okay, I do want to mention one other thing. The Rosendale Police Department, this went out in a press release, but I just want to mention it, that there is now a medication return box at the Rosendale Police Department's location in Maple Hill. If anyone wants to get rid of medication that they're not using anymore, this is a safe way to get rid of it. They can bring in prescription medication samples, over-the-counter medications, vitamins, pet medications, medicated ointments, and liquid medications in leak-proof containers. This is a program that was done through Greater New Paltz Community Partnership. Phoenix, what is Phoenix's last name? I forgot her last name. Phoenix Fumamoto is the one that's gotten the grant for this, and for New Paltz and surrounding communities were one of the communities involved in this. And so she's contacted us, and Perry and I met up with her, and they installed this box. So I think it's a good chance for us to help prevent some possible drug abuse among the youth. So that was an important thing that we're now having in Rosendale. Ken, you want to start with the committee reports?
Sure, in the interest of brevity tonight, it's getting late. The Rec Commission minutes and the ZBA minutes are on file with the town clerk. And the High Falls Water District met this past quarter, but there was not a quorum, so there won't be any minutes from the High Falls Water District. That's it.
I will mention that we have been, Mike and I have been meeting with the college to go over some of the issues that they need to work out with the High Falls Water District for possible expansion. But I'm sure that we'll get the committee and the board involved soon.
Just one other note, put the word out that we are going to be needing a High Falls Water District Commissioner. Someone has to live, they have to live within the district. Yeah, one Rosendale representative. So if anybody knows anybody that lives within the town of Rosendale and High Falls Water District that may be interested in being on the commission, please let us know.
Did you have anything for the pantry?
I do not know.
Okay. I just want to remind you that there's some funds available still for the pantry.
Yes, so we'll exhaust those.
I just wanted to say it might be good when you see it's getting low or something that maybe that's.
Thank you.
I forgot to mention that too last time.
Well, just along that line. The food pantry's doing well. I'm sorry, I don't mean to blow it up in the interest of brevity. The food pantry's doing well. We are sitting on a nice balance right now.
Okay.
And that's the reason we haven't tapped
Well, that's
into-
good. I think it should be used more like an emergency fund.
That was, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But thank you for that
Okay.
reminder.
Youth Commission, I apologize, I was in a rush, so I didn't print the minutes out. So off the top of my head, I believe that our clothing locker is now up to $1,800, and roughly for the month, we raised approximately $100. Once again, I want to emphasize, anybody has to discard clothes or anything like that, please utilize ours, because it goes back into the town and the youth. The youth summer program is in full swing. Everything seems to be going as normal. The cameras for the youth area are working out very, very well. And that pretty much sums it up for that. As far as water and sewer, nothing much to pass on there. Everything's
Except that you have
I
a
see the-
report in your thing from Boardman Judas on the
Yes,
that
and I-
went out to the State Environmental Commission for the what's on the water district. That's your.
last one that happened.
Yep. And Environmental Commission, they're working on the lighting district still, and I think they're really spending a lot of time out there in the dark looking at lights. So I think they're going to have that wrapped up pretty soon about, finished with the survey and be able to make some recommendations soon. I recently had a meeting with Joe Leone. If the board is okay with it, we'd like to use the entrance through the creek by Snyder Avenue, which the town owns that little piece of property, as their entrance for Creek Week, rather than Hardenberg Park. He thought that was a better access, and he's approached me about doing that. And if you guys are all in agreement, I think that would be a nice place to have Creek Week access. All right? Okay. Do we need to make a motion on that? I mean, I can just give permission. I just want to make sure that nobody has an objection. And that's it for me.
Highway, River Road's going to be paved, I believe, starting in 2 weeks. And as far as the transfer station, I don't have nothing to report. Do you have a copy of that?
John, I've got it, or the auditor's been looking at it,
Yeah.
and she's got
Yeah, I
one.
think we can.
She's been playing mine.
But I did a verbal with Renee, and again, it's another profitable month. Again, that becomes a huge revenue generator.
We looked at it earlier today. It was like 2,500 or something like that, right?
I know she was saying there's up 9 bids, so that's because they.
We do have the issue, the backhoe is broken down there. We do have an issue. That is, believe it or not, that cost us a lot of money not having that there to contact the posters. Yeah, it needs a new engine.
And I've been told about $2,000 to replace the engine.
But
But what do we save on having it is the question.
actually, I do have that, and I'll have it for September's. We spend a lot more if we don't have it than have that.
Just the impression.
That's all.
Planning board had a very light agenda, and they mostly actually discussed the zoning code review and the Dave Plant, the engineer consultant, laid out the process moving forward. The only concern that I had, and Billy, you may have something to add, but I just think it would be really important. They weren't sure whether they had the most current version that they were looking at. So, I think it's just important.
Well, we have it right here. Billy, you want a copy before you leave? Make sure.
There's a whole pile here.
We weren't there to discuss the zoning amendment, we were there to discuss the process
Yes.
of what it going.
That's
So
what
it didn't
I
matter if we had the most current one or not, because we already said our piece, and it went on its way.
Right.
But so it didn't matter if we had the most current one or not, because we were not there to discuss that, we were there to discuss the process.
Right.
And I was just trying to understand if the planning board felt that their comments were, you had said that the comments that you and the attorney and Dave had looked through, and their comments and the county planning comments and the REC and other comments had been incorporated into the zoning code amendment, and I just wanted to be sure.
I would not say, I will tell you honestly, that not every single
Oh,
comment got
yeah,
accepted.
no,
But it
not
was
verbatim.
clearly looked at very carefully, and a good portion of the comments were incorporated. And I think that's reflective in the changes that were made.
There was one other thing, and Fred isn't here, but he brought it up, and maybe it's not necessary to even go into it, but he seemed to be under the impression that if the planning board submitted comments, that the town board had to accept them or give a reason why not.
No,
And
that's not
if
true.
they are
I think he's
advisory, I think there was
confused.
a consensus
Yeah, he's
about that.
confused with when the planning board sends something to the county, if they don't accept those comments, he's
okay.
confused with that. Yeah.
All right, is that,
Yes.
Yes,
And
right.
I
Okay.
verified that.
Yes.
good.
And they don't have to give reasons why they choose not to.
They don't have to give a reason.
Okay.
Okay, that it? Do the financial report?
Gina, I have to just say something. Correspondence is on file. I just want people to know that 3/4 of this correspondence is about chickens. Again.
We'll work on that before the end of the year. And the general fund, $881,520.08. And the highway fund, $705,508.82. Capital highway, $31,311.97. Capital Fund, $146,150.67. Rec Sub, $24,574.82. Capital Rec, $791.14. And Light, $13,244.69. I'd like to make a motion to accept the resignation of Richard Sisilli Jr.
Second.
Rich got a job with Poughkeepsie.
Roll vote, Councilman Gallagher,
Yes.
Councilwoman Green,
Yes.
Councilman Hassett,
Yes, with regret.
Councilman Ryan,
Yes, with regret.
Supervisor.
Yes, we wish him luck. I know he's very excited about it. I'd like to make a motion. Just before I say this, I just want to let people know that we've had a lot of times where, Mike, our cleaner, has ended up working 7 days a week repeatedly because of, having to be here after parties and clean up. So I'd like to have a couple of backup people so that he can take a day off once in a while and kind of rearrange schedules because it's really was becoming a burnout for him. So I have 2 people in mind, both who work for camp, and they're available as a temporary part-time housekeepers as fill-in people. And so I'd like to make a motion to appoint Jessica Fleming as a temporary housekeeper at $8 an hour.
I'll second.
Roll vote, Councilman Gallagher,
Yes.
Councilwoman Green,
Yes.
Councilman Hassett,
Yes.
Councilman Ryan,
Yes.
Supervisor.
Yes. And I'd like to make a motion to appoint Ashlee Houghtaling as temporary housekeeper at $8.50. If you're wondering why the difference, she has a lot more experience. She's just,
You were just going to ask.
Yeah.
She's returned.
she's returning.
Return employee for
Yeah.
the
Councilman Gallagher,
Yes.
Councilwoman Green,
Yes.
Councilman Hassett,
Yes.
Councilman Ryan.
Yes.
Supervisor.
Yes. When Sarah McGinty resigned, we appointed a special prosecutor, and we got a letter from Holly Conright that he'd like to add Kevin Bryant as a special prosecutor also, and the judges have sent a recommendation, that department, to motion to appoint Kevin Bryant as a special prosecutor for court.
At the same regime.
Yes, I'm sorry, I thought it was at $100 an hour, I believe, right? Does anybody remember?
Yes.
I'll second.
Roll vote, Councilman Gallagher,
Yes.
Councilwoman Green,
Yes.
Councilman Hassett,
Yes.
Councilman Ryan,
Yes.
Supervisor.
Yes. And resolution 8/2013, this one?
Yep.
One. Authorizing copier service agreement with Hudson Valley Office Equipment, whereas the town of Rosendale finds it necessary from time to time to obtain outside assistance for technical support in its copier needs. And whereas the town of Rosendale finds that by signing an annual support agreement with Hudson Valley Office Equipment, we can fulfill these needs, and whereas Hudson Valley Office Equipment of 13 Glenwood Boulevard, Hudson, New York, 12534-2318, has submitted such an agreement for a copier at the Justice Court in the amount of $399, effective August 9, 2013 through August 9, 2014, which is attached here to and made a part hereof. Now therefore be resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Rosendale authorizes the supervisor to sign said agreement on behalf of the Town of Rosendale.
I'll second.
Councilman Gallagher,
Yes.
Councilman Green,
Yes.
Councilman Hassett,
Yes.
Councilman Ryan,
Yes.
Supervisors.
Yes. And I'd like to make a motion to go into executive session to discuss a particular person's employment.
One second.
Councilman Gallagher,
Yes.
Councilman Green,
Yes.
Councilman Hassett,
Yes.
Councilman Ryan,
Yes.
Supervisors.
Yes. Anyone that hasn't seen this, we've had a sex offender move into the area, and there's a file of those over there by Deb. If you want to educate yourself.
Want to stand up?